You found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. In today's episode, me and Pat are going to discuss who should start at point guard, Andre Drummond cooking a TikToker, and which former Bull, if any, do we think should come back that was on the roster last season. We're going to get into all that and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. That is Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/Locked On today to get started. Pat, the age-old question, it seems like the last two seasons we've come in wondering who's going to be the starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls. Jevon Carter has come into this roster. He's going to make his name known for that role. Coby White, of course, ended the season, his season-ending presser, saying that he feels like he's ready to be a starter again. And then, of course, we're just going to throw in Alex Caruso because if there's an open starting position, Billy Donovan likes Alex Caruso to potentially be there for that role. When you look at the three players that are on that I just mentioned, who do you think has the inside edge to be the starting point next season?
It's tough, right? Because to me, Jevon Carter is the answer. That's the guy that you went out and got. But Coby White's here. Coby White knows the system. Coby White's played in this system now going on his third season, and we've seen him continue to get more proficient in this system. Caruso as well. Just to throw his name in there. I mean, like, I think that most of us like Caruso off of the bench and feel like that's the best role that he can be utilized in. But then again, right, like if you start the season with Alex Caruso as your starting point, Jevon Carter can then come off the bench, still give you that defensive intensity. You still got Coby White off of the bench for the scoring, and you can pair those two together. I don't think that it's a clear-cut decision. I do think that there's going to be a real competition heading into camp. And I think that right now, if I gave the edge to anyone, I'd probably say Coby White just because of his scoring ability. I actually think he's a little bit better with his court vision than Caruso is. Caruso's got okay court vision, but we saw a lot of bad passes, bad decisions from Caruso, like trying to throw
Caruso's a great passer in transition. When you get to the half court, it could be a mixed bag depending on, and sometimes he just tries to do those thread the needle passes, and sometimes they work. Don't get me wrong, but every once in a while you're just like Caruso, man, like. Come on.
No, yeah. It's like, how'd you throw it off of his stomach, bro? Like, what? like you just gave him the basketball, bro. I mean, so
that's hilarious.
I would say the edge to me goes to Coby White right now. I think that there's also the aspect of, as much as I love Jevon Carter, do we want a 6'1" point guard being our number one option out there? I don't know.
He's not going to be a number one option in any case. Are you talking about just as the starting point guard?
The starting point.
I mean, listen, it's not limited him defense. He's been one of the better point of attack defenders his whole career. So I'm not really worried about the height aspect of it because we have enough to show he's going to be able to defend. And we're not worried about him trying to take anybody off the dribble. I look at Jevon Carter as the starting point guard just because, and that's not a slight on Coby, but I think Kobe's able to do more of what comes to Coby naturally coming off the bench, and we do need bench scoring. If you put Coby White in the starting lineup, you have no bench scoring at all, basically. None. It's just hoping that they're going to play good enough defense to get out in transition, because I do think that bench unit, if Kobe's in the starting lineup, that bench unit, if they can get out running, that's that's going to be a fun, exciting brand of basketball. But I think if you want to kind of keep up more of the similar style, Coby White's going to get more opportunity to have more things go through him off the bench. It's one of Coby White's best assets is just when he can be ball dominant. And I think that I would trust Jevon Carter more to be that spot up shooter than, because Coby is a scorer, he's not a shooter. And I think that there's the difference in that is what makes the difference in that starting lineup. We need shooters around Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic. So I think that may give the inside edge to Jevon Carter, but let me be clear here. Coby White has shown the ability to adapt his game the last couple of years, right? And his scoring came on in a major way post All-Star break. And when you look at him, just for quick numbers, pre-All-Star break, he shot the ball 41% from the field. Post All-Star break, 49%. Pre-All-Star break, 35% from three, 41% post All-Star break. And in both those areas, he took the same exact number of shots. He just was being a much more efficient player post All-Star break. So Kobe's not going to come in and make it interesting, right? And make it a easy decision to go with Jevon Carter. And that's what you want. I want to see the spirit of competition. I want this to be an open competition. And I think that whoever comes out with it is going to come down to what that fits like with that starting lineup. And I think that a role player like Jevon Carter kind of fits better, at least on paper, coming in with that starting lineup. But we'll see, because Coby White, listen, he's still young. He can adapt his game. If he makes another adaptation this offseason, you never know.
Yeah, I think we'll see kind of what he ends up being heading into the season. I think the good thing about Coby, and what I guess, if anything, could be a slight or we'll give him, I think he adapts better to whatever position you put him into.
I think he's a way more versatile player, for sure.
Yeah, I think Jevon Carter, he's gonna be your point guard, right? Like
one position.
You're not gonna make the mistake out here and put him in at the 2 or anything, right? So I think that
Billy Donovan starts Jevon Carter at the 4.
Center. He's a starting center.
He's a starter
for the Chicago Bulls because of his defensive prowess. I don't think that you're gonna see. I think the thing is, right, like a lot of times we forget, just because the arms are short, Kobe's still 6'5".
Yeah,
so he can play 1 through 3 realistically if you need him to, depending on what personnel you have out there with him as well. So you might still want that versatility off of the bench. I think that's going to get Coby White a lot more run this season.
He's going to play. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I think Coby White's going to absolutely play more minutes than Jevon Carter when it's all said and done.
Oof. I don't know, because I do believe whoever wins this job, because they want the stability, they're going to want out there with Zach and Kobe and DeMar. Because I think that's the reason to have him out there. I think what we saw with Pat Bev at the end of last season was because Pat Bev just is an offense. He has an inability to shoot the ball. Well, like when Pat Bev had those 3 random games where he was like this offensive juggernaut.
Yeah, one of those games we went to. Yeah,
you saw him stay out there more with Zach LaVine and stuff like that. I think Jevon Carter can score. I think he's like you said, the spot up shooting numbers, the catch and shoot numbers, right? Like he's a guy to me that can stay out there with Zach and DeMar and continue to be that guy that, okay, no, we're gonna run this now, we're gonna do this now, we're gonna make this play. All right, let's do this now. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that there's more of an opportunity for him to be a 30 to 35 minute a game guy. But it's going to depend on how the offense is falling for him that day.
See, that's the thing. I don't see Billy Donovan has not played any point guard not named Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook ever that many minutes. Even Lonzo didn't play that many minutes for the Bulls. So I don't expect, just because Jevon Carter's the starting point guard, for him to play 30 plus minutes. I don't expect that.
I don't remember. I'm trying to see if Lonzo's minutes per game are averaged out, because that man left so many games in the middle of them, though.
Yeah, I think he probably still averaged 34 minutes
35 minutes a game.
35 minutes a game. Okay.
Lonzo played 35 minutes a game. So, I mean,
why do I remember Lonzo sitting a lot in fourth quarters for some reason? Like, and I don't.
Well, listen, you could play 35 minutes before you get to the fourth.
This is very true. This is very true.
No, I think that, there's, to me, going to be moments with this offense where Jevon Carter is going to be cooking and you have to have him out there. And I think there's going to be moments where Jevon Carter is going to be a liability. You're going to go up against, there's a lot of tall point guards in the NBA now. You're going to go against some of these guys where, even though he's great, they're just going to say, okay, I'm just bigger than you, and it works to my advantage. You're going to have to put Alex Caruso in those moments. You know what I mean? So there's going to be ups and downs with his game. It's just about how you go out there and navigate. And I think that's the real concern at the end of the day, right? It all goes back to, how's Billy Donovan going to navigate the rotation?
You never know with Billy Donovan, bro. You never know. I mean, because he got to get Caruso in there at those power forward minutes. That's a necessity. If you don't have Caruso at some of those power forward minutes,
bro, Caruso was playing the 5 against Giannis.
Bro.
And did well. Like, I'm not, and he did well. It was weird.
Yeah, it's funny. I guess we'll see, man.
Like Pat Will out there getting cooked. Go help him.
the way that I look at it is that as long as it's a true open competition, hey, whoever wins, wins. But and whoever wins it at the start of the season doesn't mean that they're going to hold on to it, because you're going to have to play at a level to hold on to that for the whole season too. So,
no, 100%.
So we'll end up seeing, man. I like competition coming into training camp. We'll see who comes out of that. Let us know down below, if you're on the YouTube side, who you think comes out of that battle with the starting point guard position. But next up, we're going to be talking about Drummond absolutely cooking. I should not say kicking, because he was kicking. It's different. Cooking a TikToker 101. But before we do that, I got to talk to you guys about one of our sponsors, and that is FanDuel. Football season is about to kick off, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to win all season long. Because right now, when you bet on a Super Bowl winner, you get bonus bets every time they win in the regular season. Just pick any team to win the Super Bowl, and you'll get bonus bets for every victory. You can use your bonus bets on spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and start earning bonus bets with America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. So, I mean, in a way, FanDuel is basically saying that if you bet on the team that you think is going to win the most regular season games, you can kind of get enough bonuses there whether they make the Super Bowl or not. Just a little hack on that for you guys. Like, if you're getting bonus bets every time they win a game in the regular season, place 2 bets. There you go. Place 2 bets. Place 1 bet on the team that you think is going to win the Super Bowl, 1 bet on the team that you think is going to win the most regular season games. Nonetheless, Pat, let's get into it, man. That's crazy.
Hey, but you're not wrong.
I'm not. Listen.
You're not wrong.
So a TikToker said that they could absolutely beat Andre Drummond 1-on-1, that they were completely confident in it. Paid $300 to get cooked and destroyed. Drum, when are these TikTokers going to learn to shut up, man?
I mean, here's the thing. He knew what he was doing, right? He's now in Bleacher Report. He's now in, he's gotten his TikTok fame off of it. Shout out to him.
ESPN posted it. So
you know what I mean? Shout out to him. I love the part in the article from On Tap Sports, though, because that's where I saw it at. It said the game of one-on-one win is expected. I'm not, but I mean, listen, for $300, right? He got the notoriety, got his 15 minutes of fame. And hopefully it goes on to a successful TikTok career for my mans, where he can, keep getting cooked. The real question is, how did we not know that you could simply pay $300 and you could just play Andre Drummond 1-on-1 here? Like,
I mean, there's a lot of NBA players that are doing it now, bro. Like, so it's not just Drum. Apparently, listen, people are using it to come up, I guess. But
what are you getting out of it? You getting like lunch money for the day or something like that? Like, are you getting just some? Like, it's Andre Drummond, bro. Like, $300 don't mean that much to him. Like,
just getting some reps in, bro. That's all it is. Getting some reps in. If I had to guess, that other $300 is probably going to charity. I highly doubt Drummond is like pocketing $300 out here. Like,
catch up to him at the event. Hold up, you $10 short, brother. You gotta. I'm gonna need to run that 10 up.
That's crazy, man.
But it's just it's funny to see. I mean, literally, the story itself. I don't know. Was he in Chicago when he did this?
I have no idea where he was. Does it say?
It really shows. I was gonna say, at the end of the day, it shows kind of who Drum is. He really loved being a part of the community. He really loves being a part of, the people that are around him. And for $300, hey, you get, maybe this helped pay for the camp or something like that. Like, shout out to it. I love it. I love to see it. I laughed very hard when that man's basically just got took off the dribble like Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond's running point for us next season, by the way. That clip just showed us who the starting point guard is. Ball
handling on point, bro. Like,
he's actually not a bad ball handler. That's the weird part about Andre Drummond. Like, he's one of the ones where you like, oh man, that was actually a nice little saucy move. And then on the flip side, you'd be like, hey man, how about you never do that again?
That's funny. I mean, hey, I guess we'll end up seeing, man. Andre Drummond is he's a fun, like, you can tell Andre Drummond just enjoys having fun, bro. Like, he just, during the offseason, I'm sure he probably goes to a park and does this all day long, just taking people one-on-one and dribble. It just reminds people, like, even the worst NBA player, the back end of the bench player will cook you one-on-one in real life.
Hey, dog, and the best part about it is, right, when you see like the full video going, like, the guy gets the ball, and it's just funny because, like, Drum is all of a sudden this great one-on-one on-ball defender, You know what I mean? Like, it's really that point. It's like Brian Scalabrine said, man, I'm closer to LeBron than you'll ever be to me.
That's facts. That's facts. So, hey, man, listen, it is what it is, man. Have fun where you're going to have fun. Let me ask you this, Pat. Let me pivot to you. Is there any player that you would pay $300 to play one-on-one?
I would have paid it to play drum.
That's fair.
just because I know it's gonna come with it, right? You know the
you versus Marko Simonovic 1-on-1.
You want to know what's tough? Marko would cook me.
Absolutely, bro.
Marko
That's the thing.
Me because, like, here's the thing. Like, I honestly believe this. Like, I've said this multiple times. I think Denzel Valentine would beat me because he made it to the NBA, but I don't think he would cook me. I don't believe Denzel Valentine would cook. Like, I think I would lose. Like, you know, if we played if we played the 8, yeah, I'd lose like 8-4. Like, I wouldn't. Like, I don't think he would cook me. But Marko Simonovic, I got nothing for. Like, even as bad as he is, I can put my hand as high up as I want. He's just gonna look at me and shoot in my face and knock it down. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. And Marko, like, he may be slow at the NBA level, but he does have an ability to put on the floor a little bit, and he'd be like, "Hey, man, listen, stop."
Think he's slow at the NBA level. He just didn't get on the floor enough at the NBA. Now he's slow to react to somebody jumping towards the rim, because that didn't go his way in the slightest. I don't know, man. Like, an NBA player that here's the thing. For $300, do you think that there's any NBA player that you could beat?
Marquise Teague, easily.
You want to know what? I don't know. I've been watching him on his brother podcast. He's a little angry.
What you would be too.
You couldn't beat Marcus Teague, dog.
Bro, I cooked Teague, bro.
Hey, bro, you couldn't beat Marcus Teague. Marcus Teague was actually nice in college and in high school.
Bro,
like,
I would cook Teague.
Hey, bro,
because I'm playing dirty. Like, if you start beating me, I'm throwing elbows. Let's be clear here, bro.
For $300, you gonna pay him to beat him up?
For $300, bro. Like, I'm playing like the dudes that cheated in freaking White Man Can't Jump, bro. Like, it can't, like,
which
don't
one?
mess
That's
with
the
me.
question.
And he said he cooked in college. The man averaged 10 points per game in college, bro, on 40% shooting. I'll cook Marcus Teague.
Yeah, all right. You couldn't even stay in front of Marcus Teague. That's the thing. You got to find the dudes that's like Teague. Oddly slow. I could cook Cameron Bairstow probably.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our mamas could cook Cameron Bairstow, bro. Like, that black mama energy, bro. It ain't nobody who really can mess with that too much, especially not nobody who wear the headband like that. Eric Murphy, we can both cook. Get a man average fractions.
Awful, bro. That's funny. That was funny. I didn't even realize I had said that when I did.
That man averaged fractions.
Average fractions, bro. He said he ain't average one whole number. How you average a fraction, bro? That's tough. That man, I don't know. I just really feel like I could beat Denzel Valentine in basketball. His gums could probably beat me though.
You Anthony Bennett. Could you cook Anthony Bennett?
No, Anthony Bennett was amazing. He just was terrible at the NBA level. I don't know what happened to him.
He forgot how to shoot he actually can shoot in college. Like, it's like, how do you forget how to shoot?
There's so many of those guys that, like, I don't know what happened to them.
You know who I absolutely would love, who would cook people and people wouldn't expect it? Jahlil Okafor would cook so many people on versus one.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't expect it, I've since AK has taken over, I think that I've said at least once, somebody needs to give Jahlil Okafor a chance. His knees won't give him a chance though. But
wasn't he playing in the G League last season?
I don't think he was playing in the G League. I think he was playing on like Detroit or somewhere. He ended up on some team, but I don't think he played most of the year. But I'm like, Jahlil Okafor could ball. He's just a horrible defender. But I mean, so's Michael Porter Jr. Like, how many dudes
Michael Porter Jr. has stepped up some defensively, but like, the whole story on Jahlil Okafor, the fact that he was rookie of the year, averaged it was like 18, 19 points per game his rookie year.
Nice.
And then people just didn't want to give him an opportunity anymore. After that, it was crazy, bro. Like, because he, like you said, he could absolutely cook offensively. He couldn't defend a chair, but he could offensively.
I wonder if he was one of those guys that just the mindset wasn't there. To be a part of a team wasn't there, because like he was 17-7 his rookie year. And then
that's crazy.
But he only played 53 games. His problem has been he just ain't been able to stay healthy. But I mean, I don't know if that means you like. I've seen a lot of dudes that can't stay healthy stay on teams where you just like, hey, we just hoping for the best. There's a lot of those older bigs, bro, that just like why is DeMarcus Cousins not in the NBA?
Because he had all those injuries. Those lower body injuries caught up with DeMarcus Cousins, bro.
100%. But like, I could throw you on the end of my bench for probably $1.5 million, and we can just hope for the best. Like, you know what I mean?
Like that's the thing, though, bro. It's like when Greg Oden tried to make his comeback with the Miami Heat, and people were like, "Hey, this probably isn't going to work, but if it does, watch out." And it was like, I think he played. Would he end up playing like 8 games for him or something? Like it is what it is.
His got weird though because he played like what 21, 22, and he was with the Nuggets and he was cooking with the Nuggets.
Who? Greg Oden?
No, DeMarcus Cousins.
Oh, okay.
DeMarcus Cousins had a couple of.
I was about to say when the heck.
No, Greg Oden didn't have nothing.
I was about to say, like, yeah, that man, it is what it is. But next up, though, we're going to end the show talking about which former Bull we like to see back. Before we get into that, I want to remind you guys that Locked on Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube and the Odyssey app. Pat, 2 Bulls, specifically Javonte Green, Derrick Jones Jr., currently are not on teams, have not signed any deals. We haven't heard anything. Heck, Derrick Jones Jr. opted out of a $3.3 million deal to hit free agency. Could still be potentially waiting to sign with the Miami Heat after Dame Lillard trade because I think he could go back there. But if you could bring either one of those guys back or any other former Bull, which one would it be?
Bring me DJJ. We need more size. He ain't much more size, but he's more size than Javonte is. We got a lot of guards. We got a lot of guards out here. And DJJ is technically still a guard, but it's just
I was about to say, yeah.
I'd rather have DJJ than Javonte. But I don't know. Is Javonte not with the team? Because I keep seeing team stuff happen, and he just with them. Like, he's still here. Like,
yeah.
And by the way, Javonte be moving around the city. Javonte's in these
bro. Javonte be out here, bro.
He's
like,
out in the city. Like, you could just see Javonte randomly, like we in Milwaukee out here, bro. But I don't know, man. Like, to me, I would rather have DJJ just not because to me it gives you more opportunity for him to play what Billy Donovan's trying to do, oddly enough, defensively, right? Where you want to have that guy that can guard pretty much 1 through 4. I think DJJ does bring that ability. When he has those random games where he gets hot offensively, you love that. And of course, he can get to the rim whenever he wants to. He's a high flyer, creates the free throw line or creates opportunities at the free throw line. I think Javonte, I mean, at the end of the day, Javonte's energy and muscle, and I do believe that injury, because there's no reason he shouldn't be getting offers. I think that injury is more significant than people think. But I mean, he's still, like I said, bro, like they just went to Six Flags and like
Javonte was there. Yeah.
I'm like, are you on the team, bro? Like, wait a minute.
They may look to, and for everything that the thing that I'm worried, everything you said about DJJ, multiple positions, all of that. Billy Donovan's gonna look at Javonte and say he can do that too.
He can.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I do think that, and
he only played power forward for a whole season.
Yeah, like I do think that either one has an opportunity. I think as the Bulls look to maybe do something with that last roster spot, that both of them are in contention to probably get it, just depending on, the Bulls can only offer the vet minimum. So they those are the players that are probably going to be in there. I tell you what, I'd rather have either one of them back than Rudy Gay.
Yes. 100%. 100%.
You just never know, bro.
It's not with you. I ain't realized he had already turned 30.
His birthday was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
actually.
I forgot about that.
So
it's tough, dog. That's tough.
I mean, if the injury is legit, man, I would not be surprised if the Bulls signed him to something just because of taking care of one of their own, that whole view of things. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let me ask you this. Did DJJ screw up?
Yes,
opted out
absolutely.
of $3.3 million. Would have been on a team, would have had the contract, would have been back with the Bulls. Said he wanted to be here.
And would have had a role with the Bulls too. Like,
yeah, probably having a role with, we would hope. I don't know what direction this team is going, but I would think that he would have a role with the Bulls.
Yeah.
But I think we both kind of believe that he's waiting on the Dame deal to go down in Miami for him to sign down there.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that the stability is more work. Because here's the thing, Miami's gonna have roster spots open no matter what.
This is true. I mean, I think he did mess up in the sense that you could have took the guaranteed money and stuck around to a team and a system that you're familiar with. But then again, as much as we say that he would have had a role, his role was very inconsistent with the Chicago Bulls. Billy Donovan at times just didn't play him for games in a row, even though Derrick Jones Jr. was one of those guys who always found a way to impact the game. He was a great role player for us in that sense that, hey, you cannot play him for 5 games, but you know if you needed him the next 4 games in a row, he was going to do something positive to impact the games that you were going to play him in. So I mean, I don't know, man. It sucks, but I definitely think he made a mistake not just going ahead and taking that guaranteed money.
It's so weird though, because it's like he probably has, you think about it, he probably has a relationship with Dame, right? Like he played there with Dame for 1 year.
Only 1 year. He was only in Portland 1 year. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. In 2020-21, and he only played 58 games there. And wasn't that also the season Dame with that? I mean, whether Dame was on the court or not, he probably still had a relationship with Dame. But yeah, only 1 season in
1 year. Man, he was with the Heat a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah.
He did not live up to expectations.
Remember when the Heat gave him that deal, they thought that he was going to develop into a second or third scorer there.
Yeah.
So
he did not. I don't know why. That's 7 points a game on 50% really did it. Well, he did shoot. No, that's terrible. No, I don't know what Pat Riley was on. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, I think that returning to Miami could be something that's in the cards for him. I think he probably could still get that deal down there, right? Like that's not a ton of money, 3.3 mil. You know, it's 3.3 mil, and I get to be in Miami in the winter.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that mad at it. So I think DJJ is gonna. I do think. I don't know, man, because I don't know what's gonna happen with Dame. There's so much confusion on that, bro. Like,
yeah, the Dame thing is holding up. I think a lot of stuff. I think we probably would have seen Christian Wood and Kelly Oubre Jr. both signed if the Dame thing wasn't out there. Only because I do think if either one of those players are going to take a vet minimum, why not take one in Miami?
Yeah,
because they're going to need players to help fill out that bench if they end up having to send 3-4 players in a Dame trade. So
they're probably all going to end up going there.
Isn't that going to be crazy, bro?
That's literally what I was talking to.
Their bench is going to be Christian Wood, Kelly Oubre, Derrick Jones Jr. Yeah.
Dame Lillard, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. And then all of a sudden you at the end and you're like, this looks like actually a decent team. Hold on now. They got to the finals with Gabe Vincent. Like, what is this team going to be able to do?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we'll see, man.
Oh, we'll see, man. Hey, appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. You can follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. DJJ, may God have mercy on your soul.
You can follow me at CEO Haize, at CEO Haize. And thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every single day. Me and Pat will be back tomorrow breaking down more news and craziness going on with this Chicago Bulls team that we love. Jerry, don't kill us. We're going to be back tomorrow. We'll see you guys, man. For Pat the Designer, this has been Locked On Bulls. We out here. Peace, y'all.
I'll never put those two on my TV station. Who's got the suit?